Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praise unto Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Yahweh, which is the name of the Most High in ancient Paleo Hebrew, and Yahweh Shai, which is the name of the only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And this is going to be, this isn't necessarily as important, but it just caught my eye the other day, so I wanted to give a little commentary on this and just show that Esau is the goddamn devil, man. Okay, so somebody might hear that and say, well, what's wrong with this? Well, why is this seem so harmful? Well, I'm going to explain a little reason on why this actually is harmful. Well, for one, the scriptures say that which is crooked cannot be made straight. So for one, this is all crooked to begin with. Okay, because, anybody who's done their research, if you read the book by the name of Teen 2.0 by Dr. Robert Epstein, then you know that the myth of adolescence was just created in the 1900s. Okay, so therefore, this all 18 nonsense, that's all bullshit to begin with. And then this 21 bullshit, that's pure mockery of the scriptures, because you become a grown man when you're 20 years old. Okay, so what does Esau do, knowing that he's the damn devil? He'll say, okay, well, if you're 20, you can't drink alcohol, but if you wait 4 days later, now magically it becomes okay, because now you got an ID that says you can do it. And then, it's funny, because these people, oh, well, that's the law, so we got to obey it. So they can't actually fathom how it's actually true, how it makes any sense. They just believe it because that's what, they're religious teachers, which, they believe it. They're free. They believe they're free. But for one, that's an illogical fallacy. If you're free, there could be no such thing as a law. Because for one, according to you Americans, as you say, all men are created equal. Okay, so if all men are created equal, how can you have one group of people who call themselves lawmakers, and then you have the rest to obey them? Therefore, all men are not created equal. If one person can give a threat, they call it a law, a demand. And if you don't obey, they hurt you. That proves that you are not equal with them. So therefore, you Americans just cut yourself with your own belief right there. Okay, so that just shows you guys really don't know much. All right. Let's see. It says the federal, legal, anything legal or illegal, it's just something that a rich man made up. So you can't use this in an argument. For example, when we try to argue, let's say, for example, the whole, what is it? Leviticus 20 and 13, right? When we go to argue that, those guys will be like, well, the Bible does say that, but that don't apply to today. That don't apply to today because the law says that a man can be a homosexual. And again, Jesus blessed America, so, Romans 13, obey the government. But those guys are damn phonies. They really don't know much. If you read Romans 13, that's talking about the spiritual leaders, which, for you Christians, that would be your so-called pastors. Okay, not the government. What does the word minister mean? I find it funny it uses that word a lot when it mentions the higher powers. It says the word minister. The government is not a minister. A lot of y'all need to go back and, study what words mean before you come out here and try to, claim that you're on some type of level. And that goes for me as well, of course. Let's see. It says age for purchasing tobacco products has been increased from 18 to 21. Now, when I first seen this, I was actually at a local gas station. I was going in to get what I needed, and I noticed there was a piece of paper hanging next to one of the, where you ring your card up to pay for your goods. So I was like, okay, what's this sign say? And I noticed it says, it basically said the same thing here. They just had to, take it down a little bit to fit on a piece of paper big enough to see. It just shows the folly, man. It just shows the folly. Okay, so you're really gonna tell me that, a day before that code is enacted, so to speak, you can go and buy as many cigarettes as you want if you're under 21. But then at midnight, like for example, if somebody's in line, right, just before midnight, who wants to go buy cigarettes if he's under 21. He can do it if he gets there fast enough. But if he gets there just a minute late, now that action is illegal. Now that action is illegal. And you people, you fools believe that. You fools believe that. Same thing with the whole adult issue. Well, first of all, if you believe that you become an adult at a certain number, well, you have to believe, as foolish as this might sound, you have to believe that, for example, if I'm 17, right, and I go to a movie theaters the night before my 18th birthday, so I go into the movie theaters at 11 o'clock at night, and I see a movie that's, let's say, 2 hours long. So I come out at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I entered the theater as a child, but then I exited the theater as an adult. You fools believe that. Now you're not gonna, when it comes down to showing you how foolish your belief is, you're gonna, back off and say, well, it's not necessarily like that. But then by default, you have to admit that you do believe that. And, okay, if you believe, you know, oh well, today you can't do this, but if you wait till tomorrow, now you can do that. Well, by default, you have to admit that you believe something is as preposterous as that. All right, absolutely preposterous. Okay. Ooh, and this is a good one. Over in which I know two brothers who live over in United Kingdom. Okay, and they told me that over in the United Kingdom, you can you can have sex and smoke at 16. Let me say that again. So over in the United Kingdom, you can smoke and have sexual intercourse at 16 years old. But if you get on a plane from the United Kingdom and come down to, let's say, I don't know, let's say Florida, okay, because the age of consent in Florida is 18, which is all bullshit anyway. All right, the scriptures say something starts as being crooked, it cannot be made straight. So if you're already starting with a false balance, it can't be made straight. Okay, for example, let's say this. I always give this example. Let's say I'm trying to solve a math problem, correct? Let's say I get very close to the answer, but I'm just one number off. I'm just one number off from the correct answer. But the thing is, I have to get that answer correct in order to solve the other problems that are going to come after that problem that I was currently solving. If I get one number off, every problem I solve after that is all going to be off. Whether it's by 1, whether it's by 10, it's all going to be off just slightly because I started with a false answer. Okay, I started with a false balance. Okay, so saying, well, what should it be? Should it be 18? Should it be 20? Should it be 21? And this is all bullshit, man, because for one, let's say this. You got many people out there who are, hooked on cigarettes and, all type of, drugs and stuff that are, let's say, maybe 19, 18, 20 years old. So they can legally, and I say legally sarcastically, because anything legal or illegal just means my master gave me permission to do something. You dumbass Americans really haven't came on that level of intelligence yet. Right? It's a global fact that, or I should say a worldwide fact, that Americans are the most foolish people on the face of the earth. It's a fact. For example, over in India, you can have little ass kids that are maybe, let's say, 6 to 8 years old who already know how to strip a damn car and put it back together again. These kids over here in America, they don't know shit, man. You got grown women over here, damn, 20 years old, don't even know how to, cook on a damn stove, man. And I'm just being real. All right, so it shows you that America is totally done for, man. As the scriptures say, that golden city has ceased. And indeed, America has ceased. All right? I mean, you see how people are doing here, man. All right, you go to certain, cities, like let's say maybe, what is it? Yeah, go over to New Jersey, right? You go over to Jersey, you can see, go to certain towns there and whatnot. You see people are doing bad there, man. All right? And almost in every state, well, I should say every state, there's thousands upon thousands of homeless, man. Okay, why is that? Because America isn't doing good anymore. As the scriptures say, that golden city has ceased. And that golden city is America. That's not the Vatican. Dumbass clowns out there trying to say that, man. Stupid can you be, man? Obviously, America is Babylon. Okay, so I'm not even gonna get into that because this lesson isn't directed towards that. Okay, but anybody who ain't teaching that, well, you're still learning. You're still learning. Which, truthfully, be correct. We're all still learning. Okay, because the scriptures speak about the Lord Yahweh. He gave a parable and said a man cannot be born again. Or let me see. Oh, a man cannot enter the kingdom of heaven unless he be born again. So man asked him, well, how can a man be born into his mother's stomach again? And the Lord told him, well, it's a spiritual thing. One must put away his current understanding and relearn. That's what it's referring to. Okay, so back to what I was saying about this. Let's just say, on the outside, oh, this don't seem like such a harmful thing. This seems like a good thing for society. And indeed, it sounds like that. Okay, indeed, it might look like that. However, behind the scenes, this is going to cause major issues. Okay, you got people who are hooked on drugs, cigarettes and stuff like that, to help them get through their day, to help them, get through their suffering. So if you tell them they can't get these things legally, and I say legally being sarcastic, of course, then they're going to have to get it illegally. And again, I say that sarcastically because there's no such thing as illegal. That's just something that a rich man made up and enforced on everybody. But you guys don't believe that because you guys were brought up under the, under your masters. All right, they told you were free, but you are not free. What does the definition of the word oppression mean? The word oppression means a cruel and unjust treatment. So it is a cruel and unjust treatment to tell somebody, well, you can't buy this product if you're not this number. It doesn't matter if you can prove to us that you're mentally mature enough. It doesn't matter that if let's say, I don't know, you go out and work 20 hours so you can have enough money to buy such and such product. For them to tell you, okay, well, even though you have the money, we're still not going to sell it to you. Well, that's oppression there because the word oppression means a cruel and unjust treatment. So that is an unjust treatment to tell somebody, you work for this amount of money so you could buy this product. Well, we're not going to sell it to you. Which really would be foolish on the seller's end because they're trying to basically just turning down business. Okay. Anyway, let's get into them skipcheese. Let's see. Just got a couple lined up. Let me see. As I said, man, this is just pure bullshit, man. Absolute bullshit. And it just shows that the white man is the damn devil, man. Okay, that Edom, is the devil that the scriptures speak of, man. Okay, because again, first of all, 18 was wrong because biology does not know the number 18. If you ask, let's say, for example, I know when my parents were growing up, and a lot of you, if you ask maybe your grandparents or if you have older parents, maybe 50 years old or so, you ask them, a lot of them will tell you, yeah, when I was growing up in school, we were all, smoking cigarettes at like 13, 14 years old because that's what was coming. Okay, and in a lot of places you still got that going on today. Why is that? Because a child becomes an adult at 12 or 13. All right, and it's just a historical biological fact. I mean, you guys don't really deal with that though. You guys deal with what you want to make up. That's what this society goes off of. All right. Anyway, I digress. Let me go ahead and put this right here. One of my personal favorites. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 94. And let's see. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 94, and verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, they who frame mischief by a law? Let me read that again. The book of Psalms, chapter 94, and verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, they who frame mischief by a law? Yeah, so the Lord isn't with us. The Most High, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, who they ignorantly call Christ, is not with what they're doing. And this goes for every so-called law or legislation, because all legislation and law is wickedness. All right, it's all evil. It is all evil. Government is a religion. Go ahead and read the book by the name of The Most Dangerous Superstition by Larkin Rose. Okay? That is a absolute life-changing book there, man. So if you guys haven't read that yet, you guys might want to invest some time in that. And I speak from experience. If you go on YouTube, right, and look up The Most Dangerous Superstition by Larkin Rose, you can listen to the whole audiobook for free. And I've read it and listened to it 3 times already. It's an absolutely mind-changing book, man. Okay, I highly recommend you, Akia, go ahead and give that a read or a listen. Okay, absolute life-changing book. All right, make you think about things you haven't thought before. Okay, that man is a very intelligent man. If you find his YouTube channel on YouTube, just look up Larkin Rose. Anyway, I digress. Let's see. And you see, scripture I'm going to bring out next, this shows that we're not supposed to be going along with this evil, man. Okay, if we know something is wrong, we're not supposed to be going along with it. Okay? Like the whole age of consent issue. Yeah, according to the Bible, it is okay to have sex at, sexual maturity, but we're not supposed to do that today because the law says that. Well, what law are you referring to? Is this something somebody made up? And then by default, they got to say, well, yeah. But then, what they'll do is, let's say, for example, and this goes against you GMS guys as well. Let's say, for example, a guy in GMS goes out and commits the act of, let's say, Leviticus 20 and 13. Let's say one brother in GMS goes out and does that. Now, how are you guys going to handle that situation? If a brother goes out, and I'm not going to say it because, I don't want the video taken down, but let's just say a brother goes out and does that. How are you GMS guys going to handle that? If you're going to deal with the scriptures, you got to give that brother a pat on the back, okay, and enforce him with his doing. If you say, well, you went off, and I'm going to turn you to the white man, well, you're going off, man. And I would say you committed a sin unto death right there. Okay, and I'm calling your ass out to her because you said out of your own mouth in one of your videos that if somebody goes out and does that, then you're going to turn them in. Well, you're going off until you can show me in the scriptures where it says otherwise, man. Okay, you're going off. The scriptures say great men are not always wise, neither do the aged understand judgment. So, hey, man, you went off on that one. All right, the scripture I'm referring to is the book of Exodus, chapter 23, and verse, let's see, verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. Yeah, but it says thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. What is evil? This, as you see on the screen, this is evil here, because this is going to cause a lot of people many issues, man, because they rely on these drugs to help them get through their daily lives. Okay, so let's say, for example, what is somebody who's, let's say, 19 years old who is addicted to let's say, smoking, 4 packs of cigarettes a day? Okay? So, if this person can't legally get these, if they need them so badly that they'll do anything to get them, what do you expect them to do? They're going to get it illegally. So-called illegal, that is. Which again, I find it funny as well. Because, certain people, they can just go into the gas station and, they can get alcohol and, cigarettes without giving an ID because they look like a fully grown man or a fully grown woman. So why is that? Why is this cashier looking at these people and saying, oh, well, they don't got to give an ID because they look like a fully grown man? Obviously, it's because they are a fully grown man. Okay, I mean, come on, stop being goddamn foolish. All right, I used to know this one dude. Let me say this, man. When I was 15, right, I used to know this one dude that I hang out with who was 17 years old, right? And I mean, hey, look, when I was 15, I was already 6 foot tall myself. However, this dude, I kid you not, man, this guy was 6'5". He had a fully grown beard on his face. If I didn't know this guy, I'd say he was in his early 30s, man. Okay, are you really gonna tell me he ain't a man? I mean, I look like a little-ass kid next to him today. Right? And he was only 2 years older than I was. Okay, I mean, I'd say, putting a grown man next to that dude, just at 17 years old, right? That dude looked like a damn monster, man. That guy was grown men look like little kids next to him, man. But you're really gonna tell me he ain't a man? Come on, how stupid can you be? Oh, because the law says that until you're this number, you're not an adult until you're this number. So even though you look like a grown adult, but the law says you're not. And then people just go along with that because, well, I mean, and then of course they'll think of ways to, defend why that is true, even though, when it comes down to it, they gotta admit that they believe, like as I said at the beginning of the video, if I'm 17, the night before my birthday, I go into the movie theaters at 11 o'clock, come out 2 hours later. Now, magically, I came out as an adult, but I entered the theater as a child. That's what you clowns have to believe, man. Okay? But then when we make it sound so silly for you, then, they start, if there's people watching, they might start, getting a little bit emotional and try to, say, well, and then, they'll make up a story on why that's not necessarily true. You know how it is. It's just, you got to know human psychology, as Larkin Rose would say, man. Okay? Uh, anyway, let's see. I want to get one more verse. As I said, I'm not going to make this too long because it's just self-explanatory. Okay? This is totally evil, and Yahweh Shem Yao Shai is just going to add this as another sin in the bucket of America. Okay, as the scriptures say, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and that her is America, not the Vatican. Okay, for you Seventh-day Adventists out there. Y'all don't know the scriptures, my man. Okay, you guys are just, they haven't seen a sucker that soft since Panicula. Inside joke. Anyway, let's see. Let's go ahead and get the book of Isaiah. Chapter 10 and verse 1. Deaf unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, in right grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. Let's read that again. Now notice this is exactly what the United States Congress does. Okay, they have an idea, and then they write it down. And it literally says that right here in the scripture. Okay, I'm going to read it slowly so you can hear it. Isaiah 10 and 1. Deaf unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. Listen here. That right grievousness which they have prescribed. And that's what the Congress does. Somebody comes up with an idea, and then they work around it, get a certain amount of people to agree with it, and then it gets, passed on for certain stages, and then they make it the law. That's how they do it. So this literally is the same thing that the Congress does. That is undeniable proof that this is referring to the Congress right here. Okay? Which somebody could say, well, that was talking about ancient Rome. Well, if you knew the scriptures, if you knew Revelation, well, Rome is America, because America came back, or I should say Rome came back as America. And there's about, I'd say, 10 evidences to support such a belief. But that's for a whole nother sit down. One proof I'll give for somebody who's new to that teaching is in the ancient Roman Empire, you had the Flavians and the Patricians, which today you have the Democrats and the Republicans. However, Rome is the first country to ever vote in a ruler. Every other nation would just have a king, and then once he dies, it gets passed on through his sons. But the Roman Empire was the first one to bring basically politics to light, so to speak. All right, where you had one group of people want this, another group of people want that, and then they vote for who they want to rule over them. That came from Rome. And notice that America was the one who brought that back. Okay? But that's a whole nother sit down, A lot of guys really, they really can't wrap their mind around that. So, Anyway, I digress. Isaiah 10 and 1, deaf unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And that's exactly what they do. They rob the fatherless. That's exactly what America does. Okay, so anyway, with that being said, I'm going to give all praises and glories unto Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. With that being said, I'm going to say shalom.